Do you want to know how to know if your husband stopped cheating? If so, then listen up. My job is so fascinating. I work with betrayal trauma. I work with couples who have experienced affairs. And it's really interesting to me because I see all kinds of things. And some of the things that I see are couples where one partner is still lying to another partner and acting as if they're not having an affair, but they are continuing the affair. And the other partner is doing all kinds of things to try to figure out what's true and what's not true and how they can trust their partner or not. If you're in a relationship like that, then this video is going to help you a lot. You're going to want to listen to the end because I'm going to give you what to look for and how to actually know whether or not your partner is trustworthy. The important thing to understand is it's not about what your partner does that will build trust and show you that they're not a cheater. It's about who they are. So who they are is a cheater because they've cheated on you. A shift needs to take place or else they're going to continue to do that. But the shift doesn't happen here. It's not about them knowing more stuff and doing more stuff. The shift happens here in their heart. And what you want to do is understand what that actually looks like. Now, there's a lot of things that a partner will do to attempt to feel safe when they don't feel safe in a relationship. And these things are totally normal. But what they'll do oftentimes is try to jump in there and control the situation. And what they'll do is they'll start monitoring their partner's phone. They'll look at everything they're doing on social media. They'll try to get passwords to their email. Now, this is all things that help gather information, but I hate to tell you this, they can create another email account. They can hide things on their phone. If they want to cheat, they can cheat, and they can hide those things. So how do you actually know whether you're safe in that relationship or not? Instead of jumping in there and hovering over and trying to figure it out all the time, that will make you go crazy. And it won't bring real safety and peace into your life. Think about it. I'm supposed to go ice fishing tomorrow with my brother. Now, when I walk across that pond, if every single step I'm worried that I'm going to fall through the ice, I'm checking it. I'm worried that the ice is going to fall through. Am I safe? No, I don't feel safe. I'm worried that I'm going to fall through, even though I'm checking it every step of the way. What I need to do is take a step back, sit on the shoreline for a little while, and just notice how cold it gets. Watch to see how thick that ice gets. Pay attention to what's actually happening. Now that can be excruciatingly hard for a person who's been cheated on. The reality is you can't control them. But what you can do is really understand the conditions that create trust and safety in a relationship. If this video is helpful for you to understand how to actually know whether your partner is cheating or not, then please don't forget to like the video. Thank you. Before you start looking at your partner to see whether or not they're going to cheat on you or not, the first thing to do is to really hone in your truth meter. So what I mean by that is learn how to trust your gut. You have intuition, and that intuition will tell you what feels true and what doesn't feel true. Now, if you're married to somebody or in a relationship with somebody who's cheated on you, they've tried to break down your intuition. They don't want you to trust your gut because your gut is the thing that's going to protect you. So listen to your intuition, trust your gut. If something just feels off to you, then it probably is off. You might not know all of the details, but trust your gut. Now, don't make assumptions, don't make up things in your mind, don't spin in anxiety, but trust your gut. It is amazing to me when I hear about partners who have trusted their gut. They've done certain things. So I've worked with partners who have said, I know when my partner has cheated on me. I'll have a feeling, or I'll even have a dream, and I'll go confront them, and every time I do, when I have that feeling, what do you know? It's true. They're willing to voice up, they're willing to speak when they feel like something's off, and they've been right more than they've been wrong about what their gut is saying. Now, I say don't go hover over them, don't go look at their emails, don't search for things, but sometimes when your gut is saying, I feel like there's something there and I need to take a look at it. I hear all the time about partners who actually find something because their gut is telling them that there's something there. They don't find things when their head is spinning, when they're just caught up in fear and they're spinning and spinning. So when your gut feel is that something is there, go check it out. Go look. And you may find something. All right, now that you've honed in your gut feelings, right? Your intuition is working for you. This is what I want you to look for in your partner to understand whether or not they're a cheater and they're gonna hurt you again or not. The first thing is they're desiring change outside of you. So what I mean by that is they're not motivated to change just because you want them to change, but they internally desire a shift so that they don't cheat anymore. They want it. You don't want to trust you to control them to not cheat on you anymore. You want to trust them. When you go out of town, when you're not around them, you want to know that they're not cheating on you. My wife right now knows that I'm not cheating on her. And she knows it because she knows that's the type of man that I am. That's what you want to get to with them. You want to know that they're motivated to be that type of person. The next thing to look for is transparency. How open are they about who they are? Are they willing to tell little lies? Do they try to manipulate the truth? Do they avoid difficult things? Or can they step into hard things? Can they be honest? Can they be open? Can they be transparent? Being rigorously honest is important for them to not act out again with an affair, but it's also important for you to know that they won't because they're an honest person now. You want to see consistency with their actions and behaviors. When they say they're going to do something, they actually do it, and they do it over and over again. You need that consistency. Somebody who cheats will not be consistent. They'll say certain things and do other things. They'll lie and their behaviors won't match up. But somebody who is in recovery will be consistent with what they say they're going to do. Next, they'll have patience and empathy for your hurt and your pain. They won't get defensive. They won't throw it in your face. They won't turn the tables on you and blame you for their affair. But they'll actually be empathetic to how much it's hurt you. When they're empathetic, it shows remorse. It shows that they don't want to do that anymore. So it's important for you to notice whether or not they're empathetic with you or not. When they're empathetic, it's helpful because it shows whether or not they care about your pain or not. And they're less likely to go cheat on you again if they're actually caring about your pain. Another thing that you want to look for is that they're connected to you and they're connected to the household needs. A cheater, their mind is elsewhere. They're on their phone texting other people. They're not engaged in what's happening there at the house. So somebody who's faithful is actually connected to you and connected to the household needs. Now, as I've talked about this, I realize it can trigger some things. It can trigger things like wanting them to be this way, but knowing that they're not. Now, it's important for you to know that if they're not the things that I just listed, that there are some things that you can do. You can work on your own healthy boundaries. You can work on your own recovery. You can move forward in your life, whether or not they choose to be in recovery, to change, to shift their heart, and not be a cheater or not. But it's going to require making some hard decisions and doing some difficult things. But you can be free from this and not live in a relationship where there's no safety or trust. If this video has been helpful, then check out my other video, Why Are Emotional Affairs So Hard to Get Over? In that video, I walk you through a process of healing from an affair, and it can be very helpful to you.